today, we choose this topic, understanding life. Then you look at the whiteboard, its purpose and meaning. Have you all ever ponder or reflect on this question since birth until now? When I was young, I started asking myself, especially when I was in Form 4, Form 5, I asked myself, who am I? What am I? What am I here for? What is life? Does life have a purpose or meaning? What do you think? Let's start. The mic is with Ingrid. Who wants to start? Do you really understand life? First question. This is the first question. Do you really understand life? If you don't understand life, then how can you talk about its purpose and meaning? True or not? You have to understand life first, isn't it? So what is life? Don't tell me gong gong jia, gong gong tua, gong gong si. Everything also gong, like Suan will say. What is life according to your understanding? Especially now that you have developed the understanding of the Dhamma. Then after we have understood life, we establish the meaning and purpose, then only we can confront life challenges. I think this is what a lot of people cannot succeed. You agree or not? What are the life challenges that people cannot confront? What are the main ones? Tell me, get the mic. Sadhu. We must have feedback. Then
old age and death.
Yes. So you have to confront old age, sickness, and death. These are the things that people cannot really handle. When they are confronted with, especially disease, sickness, and pending death. Or separation of loved one. Separation, one of the most severe way is through death, parting. Of course, there are other types of separation, divorce and all those things. Then sometimes forced separation between brothers and sisters, parents and children. So sometimes you just, because of certain reason, you get separated. And most of the time it's due to misunderstanding, anger, hatred. Then sometimes, of course, due to financial reason. When young, you have to be given away. And sometimes you get separated through war, nature's disaster, riots, and all those things. So there are many reasons. Then disease is, I think, so far most traumatic. A lot of people cannot really take it. So these are the many challenges. Then, of course, relationship failure is also one of the major challenges. Then what else? Financial problem. Most of you don't have. So not an issue to you all. Because you have dana parami, you are blessed. Actually, in this world, a lot of people have financial problems. Do you know? A lot of people get scams, swindle. Then they go and borrow money from loan shark. Then yesterday on the news, you all heard about it or not? That guy kena swindle 3 million. You read about it? It's about what this special privileged clubs or what. And you have to pay money or donation or. The young fellow, 24 years old, until the father came to know. Then only the whole thing exposed. Then they go and see Michael Chong. Then came out press conference and all those things. A lot of people, because of karma from the past, they get themselves into such challenges in life or such difficulties in life. Okay, before we go into this, these challenges are mainly referring to the first noble truth, reality, because the Buddha's teaching is very beautiful. The reason why I want to cover this topic is because this topic can allow you to understand the teaching very well, can relate to true life experiences. So this keyword, understanding life, how do you view it? Do you really think you understand life by now? Try. Put up your hand. Just answer. Do you really understand life? And what is your understanding of life? Nobody have ever asked you that question. Angie, good. Start the ball rolling.
Okay, Brother.
Yeah.
I think there's different phases in one's life.
Correct.
And so as a kid, you know, the little ones usually is to fulfill their, their immediate basic needs.
Yeah.
So
that one we are talking about purpose and meaning. So different people have different purpose in life. Then like your case, different phases of life as you go through, you have different needs. But what we want to understand first is the overall understanding of this word life. What is life? Life can be equated to existence, isn't it? So as we exist through life, we live life, isn't it? So do you understand life? If you don't understand life, how are you going to live life? That is a very obvious question, isn't it?
I think, we also have to be responsible, to...
Correct, but you need to understand life first before all those things about purpose and meaning come in, understand now? We need to be responsible in order to live life. But first of all, do you understand what is life? What is really life? As Buddhists, I give you a hint, we are very lucky. We are very fortunate. Because we have a great teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha, the fully enlightened one, Samasama. He actually explained to us this very clearly, the meaning of life. What is life? All of life. If you have read my seminar book, you will have understood this. This is actually very important. So the whole of life, the Buddha summarized them into the Four Noble Truths, which is the essence of his teaching. That's why this Four Noble Truths, the moment I read about it in the year 1971-72, I straight away inside tell me no need to search, that's it. But to me, nobody in this world can ever define all of life, both the mundane and the supramundane, into just Four Noble Truths. Nobody. That's why I salute the Buddha. I even tell myself, even if I have had his enlightenment, I cannot summarize all of my understanding into just Four Noble Truths. And within the Four Noble Truths, the whole of life is there. The secret of life, the meaning of life. Everything is there, so clearly defined. Both mundane and supramundane, no. Even the supramundane aspect is also there. That's why we are indeed very fortunate as a Buddhist. We have this great teacher who has this great understanding, and he summarized to us all of life. Do you think it's easy to summarize all of life? It's not easy, isn't it? Your life covers a wide spectrum of experiences. And different people live life differently. And most people without the Dhamma, without the understanding of life, actually deludedly and heedlessly go through life. They suffer a lot. They are afflicted most of the time. And they go through a lot of suffering, misery, mental agony, sorrow and lamentation over the various phases of life. as they encounter life or confront the challenges of life. They suffer a lot. So, how do we come to that conclusion? So we have to start based on Four Noble Truths, isn't it? So what is the First Noble Truth? First Noble Truth talk about what? There is a Noble Truth of suffering, which is correct. So this Noble Truth of suffering is telling you the realities of life and existence. Understand? The key thing is the reality of life and existence. The Buddha said there are 8 realities in life. Everything you do within the mundane, it will be covered by these 8. Yeah. That's why it's very powerful. He said these 8 realities, if you live long enough, you will have to confront them. And you confront them without wisdom, without this understanding of his teaching, you will be afflicted. You will suffer. You will become miserable. It will cause you a lot of mental agony, mental suffering. All of your sorrow, lamentation, fear, worry, anxiety, deep resentment, unhappiness, envy, jealousy, hatred, they come from all this reality. Yeah. So what are the 8? The first 4 is very easy to understand. Birth, old age, sickness and death. So just now Tammy already mentioned. The main challenges of life is to confront old age, sickness and death. Separation. Yeah. Then after these 4, the 5th one is also very traumatic. Yeah. Separation from your loved ones, or the thing that you believe you own or you think you own, your possession, things that you hold on to dearly, your loved one, your property, your wealth, yeah, or whatever that you cling on to, hold on to, and think that this is what belongs to you and you must have them. Especially your wealth, your loved ones, your all the title and everything. So that separation can bring about a lot of suffering, misery, unhappiness. Sometimes people can just commit suicide because of that. Especially when you build up all your wealth, your whatever career, your business, or everything that you have owned. Suddenly, due to one mistake or economic crisis, you lost them all. Or due to war, everything wiped off. Or due to one nature's disaster, everything wiped off. Or a mad guy like Saddam Hussein overnight conquer and take over your whole country and central bank also. So you lost everything. It's very traumatic. And sometimes people make mistakes. Yeah. So all this can bring about tremendous suffering. And it can be very traumatic for a lot of people who cannot really believe what happened. Then the 6th one is what? Separation from, when you are with people whom you don't like. Yeah? Separation we have already dealt with. When you are with people whom you don't like. So this one is normally your mother-in-law, your career, your bosses, all those things. Or people who are not easy to be with, understand? Like your nasty neighbor, not so friendly type of neighbor. Then sometimes even your own schoolmate or classmate. Because certain school, they have this bully that they take advantage of their fellow students. They bully them. Then they harass them for money. You call what that one? Extortion. You extort the student for money. It can be very traumatic too. Then child abuse. You heard of it. Sometimes your in-laws, father-in-law, mother-in-law, stepmother, step-parent. They can make life difficult for you. So there are a lot of realities that are not easy for living beings to confront, to experience, to go through. That's why they have this phobia from child abuse, from traumatic experiences while they go through life when they are young and all those things. Then sometimes when you receive certain news about close friends, loved ones, suddenly just pass away like that. Doesn't make much sense. I remember last time Joy came to our Thursday class, Sweet Anne there, I remember. Suddenly that night she wanted to cry. Then she told us her very close friend passed away. A really close friend. Then the son also very close to him, to her, sorry. Then later on she brought the son to the class too. So these are the things that will confront living beings. Then the seventh one is when things don't go your way. This is very common. When you cannot get what you want, when your expectations in life are not met, it brings about suffering. Then you may think there are other things that are not covered by this. But the eighth reality, the Buddha, very wise, he covered everything with the eighth one. He said, in short, it's due to our self-delusion, sakkayaditthi, that condition us to grasp and cling on to our five aggregates of form and mind, that condition our suffering. So the five aggregates of grasping is suffering. That final summary is very powerful. When you attach to this body, you suffer. This is the first aggregate. Where you worry about it getting sick, getting old and die. You think this is real, this is you. And that is a very powerful sakkayaditthi, self-delusion. So it's not easy to confront this. People fear death. How many of you don't fear death anymore? Wow, sadhu, very good. Got people. Don't fear death already. Actually, nothing to worry about that. Who died, what died? You already know that nothing died. But you must really have the ability to understand that. So that when it happens, you will be in a position to understand clearly. Especially you meditate, you can realize your silent mind. Then you will understand what the form and mind is. And you will understand clearly that this form and mind is not you. They are all dependent originating. That's why they are impermanent. You attach, grasp and cling. One thing's your way, which is not nature's way, you suffer. That's it. And because they are impermanent, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity that you can cling on to, hold on to, and say, this is me, this is I. That's why that is a delusion. And with that understanding, you're free. You know how to live life. Then you know this physical body is a vehicle for you to come, karmically conditioned for us to come to this existential world, to live life, to experience life, to do whatever we want with life, of course, also to experience the karma and all those things. Then the other four aggregate of mind is also not what you think. This mind is mainly the mundane mind. And this mundane mind has the power to feel. You attach to feeling, you will have suffering. Here you will cling. Your like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant. Your mind state, the duality, will cause you suffering. Where you have preference, attachment to good feeling, pleasant feeling, good life. The negative one, you don't want, you want to push away. The painful one, you don't want. The one that project your thought and create fear, worry, anxiety, you become miserable over it. You want that to go away. That's how the Dhamma can actually liberate your mind. Without the Dhamma, you can't. So, not only the feeling, the Buddha, everything you come to perceive, the phenomenal world of consciousness. How do you perceive that? Through your seeing consciousness. hearing consciousness, smell, taste, tactile, and thought consciousness. And do you know what other thing you perceive? Your loved ones, your property, your wealth, your neighbor, your bosses, all those First Noble Truth reality are the things that you perceive. Even your own race, your own country, your own gender, your own school, nation. You attach, you cling. You will suffer. That's why sports also people fight. Over what? Over the identity that you hold on to. So all this attachment comes from your perception. Whatever you perceive, you hold on to them, you will suffer. Where your mind, with that self-delusion, will suffer. That every moment of consciousness, if you're attached to what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactily feel and think, you will suffer. That's why all these four aggregates of mind are very powerful. Feeling, perception, activity of mind, mind states. You attach to good mind state, you suffer. You attach to wrong thought that creates the evils, that condition your negativity of mind state, you also suffer. You become depressed. Yeah. Then you get into big trouble. So all this explain to you clearly the reality of life and existence. So that aspect of life is so wide a spectrum that it tells you all this reality lead to suffering. You don't understand this teaching. So the second noble truth is what? Cause of suffering. What is the cause? Self-delusion that condition craving for you to grasp and cling onto the five aggregate. That's why these first two noble truths you must reflect, contemplate until very clear, the three turning, to arise the initial wisdom. Otherwise you cannot live life. You cannot deal with life. Then you go and check. You put it into practice. Investigate into it. If I attach to the form, do I suffer? If I attach to all the feeling that arise, do I suffer? If I attach and cling to everything I perceive and believe that is real, is me, do I suffer? If I cling on to all the mind states, do I suffer? The sankhara, the activity of mind, the mental intention, my views, my opinion, my belief system, my conditioning, do I suffer? Everywhere you suffer, as long as you are deluded without this Dhamma. Even consciousness is like a magician. It will make you suffer. Sometimes as you grow older, you look at yourself in the mirror, you start to develop this unhappiness. If you don't have the Dhamma, you really, why am I so old now, so fragile, so useless? What the hell is happening to me? I no longer used to be what I am when I was in my youth. I was so strong, so energetic, so full of life. I was able to do this, do that. Now, everything also cannot. So just like the case of Tuesday with Morris, the professor. He can dance, he can... what type of dance are they called? Like very graceful one. Ballroom dancing. Suddenly he paralyzed. Then he lost his job, he lost his fame, his professor, all the students that used to respect him and everything. Then he used to have this ability to dance so well and so gracefully. And he was so famous. Suddenly he lost everything overnight because of the injury, spinal cord injury. And he went into depression. That's why finally when he recovered, he wrote that book, Tuesday with Morris. So a lot of people cannot confront life because they don't have the Dhamma. So you should be very happy, count your blessing that you understand life. So first two noble truths explain to you the mundane aspect of living. Understand? Mundane life. Then the Buddha, under the third noble truth, what did he tell you? He says suffering need not be. You have the understanding of his teaching, you can become enlightened. Enlightenment in the here and now, Nibbana, can be realized. And when you realize Nibbana, you know how to live life. You understand life. And you can be free from all of the first and second noble truth reality. Both of this first and second noble truth reality cannot cause you any more suffering or misery. You cannot be deceived by this reality of life and existence, the phenomenal world, the fine aggregate of form and mind. Then you understand who you are, what you are very clearly. That's how you break free. Then when you understand that enlightenment in the here and now is possible, suffering need not be, what will happen to you? Yeah? What will happen to you? You will have joy in there. Because I need not suffer. What? Who make me suffer? My own self-delusion. If I can awaken to that, I can liberate my mind. Then I can live life to the fullest, the third phase of Dhamma. Live the life of an enlightened being. Pativeda. So that is so beautiful. So, after that, what is the next step? The fourth noble truth. The Buddha didn't only promise you, tell you enlightenment is possible, then never teach you how to do it. There is a fourth noble truth. He said, if you walk this path, cultivate this noble eightfold path, it will lead to the end of all suffering, which is the enlightenment in the here and the now. Everything is so complete. All of mundane and supramundane. That's why the moment I understood that teaching, I understood life. I know how to live life. Then I know how to make use of my understanding to live the beautiful life. I can experience all of the beauty and wonders of life, and I can live life to the fullest. And that is the beauty of the teaching. And that is the beauty of being a Buddhist that has this teaching. But very few people can explain to you that the essence of the Buddha's teaching can summarize to you all of life, both the mundane and the supramundane. That's why you must go back and read my seminar book. Then you understand. So when I understand life with such complete understanding, then I can live life, isn't it? Then I can talk about my purpose and the meaning of life. And most important are the three right views that the Buddha taught, the spiritual law. Because the Buddha said our whole of the existential world, our conditioned world, they are governed by a set of law, which he called nature's law. And the first two are scientific. He said, Uttu Niyama and Bija Niyama. Means the scientific physical law of nature and the scientific biological law of nature. Because the scientists understand these two, they progress very fast in the scientific field and technological field. That's why our civilization progress. So likewise, when the Buddha understands the three spiritual laws that governs all of our life and existence, he became the Sammasambuddha. The first one is Karma Niyama, law of karma. That one is very powerful. That's why his teaching elaborate on that. He said, we are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. And we are what we are because of our karma. So if you know this truth, you know that all of your life depends on karma. What must you do? You have to take care of karma, isn't it? And how to take care of karma? Follow the advice of the Buddha. That's why it comes from this right view. To avoid all evil. Purify your mind. Then develop wholesomeness. So these are the advice of the Buddha. To take care of karma, you have to avoid all evil. Keep the precept. Then you have to cultivate wholesomeness, virtue, blessings, merits. That's why it's about Noble Eightfold Path. Right view leading to all the right thought, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Then the four right efforts. Then purify your mind through mindfulness and samadhi. So this is how life can be clearly understood. So I understand the law of karma, I take care of karma. Then I know this form and mind is not me. But then it's connected to my nature. conditioned from the karmic nature. So this one is subject to karma, you know. That's why you will do its duty. So all this understanding will enable you to live life and develop the beautiful karmic nature. You remember last Tuesday? Karmic nature, spiritual nature. Then when you connect through meditation, you realize your true mind, you can inherit from your spiritual nature. Then you can continue your cultivation of your spiritual nature. That's how you build up the understanding of the two natures that support life. So that every time you come, you are beautiful. You will have deep understanding of life. You will understand your purpose and the meaning. Because we have our vows, understand? Huh? That's why we have a duty. We have the purpose to come. And life is meaningful in the sense that if you understand life, you have all this wisdom, you can live life to the fullest. It's full of meaning. It's not just life is suffering. Understand? A lot of people give up on life. Do you know what they say? Life is not easy. Life is a lot of suffering, a lot of misery, a lot of sacrifice. And a lot of people find life so difficult to endure. They say so much problem like unending. Huh? You agree with what they say? No? If they don't take care of karma, surely problem is unending, correct? No? If they don't develop wisdom, problem is unending, suffering is unending. But if you take care of karma, develop the understanding of the Dhamma, there is no such thing as problem, understand? No? We already gone through that. What is problem? Huh? When you perceive things negatively, with the wrong view, with the wrong understanding, and then it becomes a problem. But if I can understand and develop the wisdom out of it, then I perceive it with wholesomeness. Then I say it could be a blessing in disguise. Then I don't suffer, understand? Then I turn it around. Then I develop the joy. Luckily, I confronted with this noble truth. First noble truth reality. Otherwise, I won't seek the Dhamma. Otherwise, I won't understand this teaching. Otherwise, I don't have this understanding. Then your whole mind becomes different. Your whole perspective of life becomes different. Then everything is your teacher. You develop gratitude and love towards all these people. Even people who try to harm you, hurt you, cheat you, and do all those funny things to you. Because of you, I learn. Because of you, I can be tested. So it is life itself that we develop all this understanding. That's why I always say life is our greatest teacher. And my teacher Achayantra also say the same thing. Life is our greatest teacher. We learn from life. We learn from nature. He liked nature, is it? Nature has a lot of loving kindness. Nature has great compassion for mankind, for the world. Nature just give and give. Nature never take anything from you. But human being very greedy, take everything, want to own everything. So this aspect, is it clear? This is the most important for us, fellow Buddhists. If you understand this, you understand life, then we can move on with this topic. Then this topic becomes very interesting. Okay, now that you understand this aspect of life, means the full scope based on your Dhamma understanding, then can you develop the meaning of life and the purpose of life? What is your purpose of life? We don't talk about those people who don't understand. Those people who don't understand, their purpose of life is very different. So the meaning of life is also very different. To them, money, money, money. So everything is about money. The purpose of life is a lot of money. 钱，老子有钱。Then after that they can do a lot of things. They say, the Hokkien also got song. 那是我有100萬做飛機遊世界. So these are the mentality. That's why it's different. So people will think of wealth is equate to good life, understand? But then, is life really limited to just money and good life? Sometimes without money, they realize they are happier. Or without so much money, they are a lot happier. Too much money, they get into trouble. That's why they come up with this sentence. Money is the source of all evil. Money is evil. But when you don't understand that money is evil, because it depends on the user of money, understand? And how you get that money. If that guy, the former mind, that accumulate all this wealth or receive all this wealth through illegal means, through evil means, then karmic-wise, the law of karma will hit back, and they will get into big trouble. You can see after the change of government, what happened. So a lot of things can manifest. Then whatever you do, there is this nature's law of karma. You reap what you sow. If you plant the seed of evil, you will reap the fruit of evil. If you plant the seed of wholesomeness, you will reap the fruit of wholesomeness. So these are very easy to understand. So when it talks about purpose and meaning, we are here referring to those with spiritual understanding. Okay? Otherwise, it's too wide a topic. Yeah. Because different people, like just now NG say, different stage, you got different need hierarchy. You heard of the need hierarchy? Maslow need theory. Maslow need theory is very good. It's an economic theory. He said, when you don't even have enough to eat and shelter over your head, what is the purpose of life? Food and shelter, isn't it? But after you have food and shelter, your need, your purpose goes out, isn't it? Changes, isn't it? That's why that need hierarchy is depend on people's circumstances, because that one they have no choice. Karma condition them into that state. That's why the Buddha said, you are born of your karma, heir to your karma. Condition has supported by, and you are what you are because. So you cannot blame anybody. Do you understand? So when you are born into a poor family, or you have parents that neglect your need, not even the basic need of food and shelter, who you think is to be blamed? It's not your parent. In the past, you also neglect your children. That's why this life you come, you will have this karmic inheritance. You inherit this type of parent who are also irresponsible. They could be gambler, drunk, violent parents who neglect their duty. So all this, when you understand, you will know how to live life. You will know how to develop your purpose. Your purpose here is very easy. You come here as a spiritual being. What is your purpose? Yeah? To follow the advice of the Buddha, isn't it? True or not? That one also cannot agree. Then what is your purpose? You come here for what? Huh? Come here to get married and be happy. Then give birth to good children. You only think of the good thing, the positive side. There's a real story, about a dancer and Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein went into a pub, have a drink. So the dancer was dancing, a very pretty dancer. Then he saw Albert Einstein. Wow, he went ahead and talked to Albert Einstein. He said, how nice he were to have a child. Albert Einstein looked at her. Why? He said, that child will have my beauty and your intelligence. Logical or not? Logical or not? Then Albert Einstein asked, what if it's the other way around? My ugly face and your stupidity. Because you only think of the positive side of the sun. Then everybody laugh. Because you only think of the positive, happy side that you want to look at. Especially when you have your child grown up, they get married. So as parents, you're very happy. You look forward to what? Huh? Grandchildren. Even during wedding, they already give you hint already. The yam sing one. First glass is for what? Second glass is for what? Third glass is for what? Grandchildren. And they look forward to full moon day, new moon day, then to all the grand celebrations and all. But they never expect the negative to happen. What happens if the birth has complications? What happens if the child has problems? They never look at that. They only look at the so-called positive aspect. So when you look at life, you have to have the wisdom. It can happen either way. If you have not planted the proper condition, means if you have not planted the wholesome condition behind, when the law of karma arises, when it hits, you will get into trouble. Like Master Shen Ho, my refuge teacher, he always warned people. He said, he used Mandarin. He said, karma is like that. 种因结果. He said, means whatever you plant, the causes, it will give rise to the appropriate fruit. So he said, 种善因结善果，种恶因结恶果. Then he warned all the refuge people, all the people who are in the hall taking refuge. He said, all of you must be careful. Please don't plant the wrong cause and reap the wrong fruit. 千万不要种错因结错果. That one is a beautiful one. So you plant the wrong seed, you will reap the wrong fruit. Understand? The wrong seed is what? Delusion, ignorance. And the fruit is what? With the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. So, you plant the seed of evil, you will reap the fruit of evil. That's how you suffer and become afflicted, miserable. So this aspect of the teaching is very, very important, very beautiful. So coming back to the question, purpose now. What is your purpose after having the Dhamma? Do you have a purpose in life? What is your purpose? First very important one is what? First very important one is what? Purpose. First very important one is what? Right here. Oh, that one is not your purpose. That one is your aim. You want to aim to be free from suffering. Your purpose is to do your duty. Understand or not? Correct or not? When you do your duty in accordance with the law of karma or law of nature, then you will have the good life. That's why the noble ones, the enlightened disciple of the Buddha, this is a quality they have, understand, of dutiful conduct. So do your duty. Don't be irresponsible. Don't neglect life. Do you know how many duties you have or not? You don't know how many duties you have. You think you are only the spouse. When you are born, as a kid, your duty towards your parent, understand? Then later on, you will have brothers and sisters. You will have grandparents, great-great-grandparent maybe. So you have your duty. Then as you grow up, you will have your duty towards your loved ones. You can get married, and your children and all those things. So your duty as a husband, or as a wife, or as parent, your duty towards your employee, your employer, towards nature, towards the environment. All this need Dhamma understanding. If you don't do your duty well, properly, you neglect any of this. Karma is you reap what you sow. In future, you will get back the same treatment. You neglect your children. In future, you will have parents that will neglect you. If you do whatever duty properly, like this, you have sacrificed for your children, their education, their good life. Later on, you will have good parents who will also look after you, give you the good education, sacrifice for you, and do everything for you. Yeah. That's why right duty is right Dhamma. Then, of course, you must. The second purpose is what? Follow the advice of the Buddha. So when you follow the advice, you will have the cultivation. True or not? You will know how to avoid all evil, to protect your karmic nature. You will cultivate wholesomeness to build up your karmic nature, so that when you come to this existential world, when you are born into the next life or future life, you will have all the support, because you are born of your karma, heir to your karma, conditioned and supported by your karma, and you are what you are because of your karma. Then finally is develop the wisdom. Then you don't have to suffer, understand? Then life becomes beautiful. So this is of good conduct, of right conduct, of wise conduct. So all the four conduct are here, understand? So this one is dutiful conduct. Then this one got three. What are the three? So this one is right conduct, good conduct, and wise conduct. These are your important purpose in life. If you have these two, you are home. Understand? Then life becomes meaningful. Understand? Everything falls into place. Then you will live the noble life of an enlightened being, free of all suffering, misery, unhappiness. No more fear, no more worry, no more anxiety. You are always happy, peaceful. Life is beautiful, meaningful. That's why the Heart Sutta says, when you realize this wisdom, true emptiness is wonderful existence. That is the meaning. Can follow? Still need to think, Never mind, go back slowly, reflect, contemplate. Not too late to start on this. This is very important. In the year 1971, I was only, how old? 17 years old. I reflected on this, contemplate. I looked into the stars at night. I go to the open ground. I look up on the star. Then the inquiry came. Who am I? What am I? Such insignificant planet Earth. And one of the 6 billion of inhabitants. And the whole of the universe is so vast now. That's why it kept me contemplating and reflecting, who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? And that one really drives me. And finally, what is the answer inside there? Very good. Wow, we can remember. Inside there say, you cannot understand all this unless you meditate. Hey, that time I don't even know what is meditation. I got no idea at all, but that nature probed. Why did it probe? Because of the vow, understand? Because of the past. That's why this one, when it comes, the Mohi mind inside there is so developed, understand? Anything he understands, the moment I understand science and geography, all this come out already. So, meaning and purpose can only be established after you have understood life. Then you can write them down. You can expand on all this. The other thing about understanding life is, you must also understand who are you, what are you. That's why the Buddha's teaching is very powerful. The 5 aggregate of form and mind. Is it really you? If it is not you, then who are you? What are you? You know why you must understand this or not? If you don't understand who are you, what are you, then who is living your life? Who is living your life? Your thought is living your life, understand? That's why because the thought is egoic, not enlightened yet, deluded. So how can thought live life? Thought is full of self-delusion, egoic, craving. So that one cannot live life. That's why you need to reflect, contemplate. You need to develop the understanding of your true mind, the awareness, to be aware, to develop the clear understanding of life, to see clearly who are you, what are you, and investigate into what the Buddha said. The 5 aggregates of form and mind, they are impermanent. When you attach and cling deludedly, wanting things your way, which is not nature's way, you suffer the noble truth. Then because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity that you can cling on to, hold on to, say, this is me, this is I, therefore all this can be mine. So when you have all this understanding, you start to break free from self-delusion, sakkaya ditthi. Then your attachment to the 5 aggregate of form and mind will start to free. That is the most important. Otherwise, your attachment to the 5 aggregate of form and mind is so strong. You can never relinquish the 5 aggregate of form and mind. To relinquish is to understand that it's not you, but it's related to you. You understand? It's just like the 5th patriarch, To Hui. This mundane mind, you must know how to use it, and yet not be deluded or deceived by it. Straight away he came to great awakening. But this is life, existential Dhamma. You have to understand. It's different from the unconditioned Dhamma. The unconditioned Dhamma is to develop the wisdom for you to free, liberate, not deceive. But the conditioned Dhamma has its reality. Understand? It has its own nature's law. It recognizes relationship. It has its right duty. There is such thing as wholesomeness, evil, good, defilement. That is within the conditioned world. There's a conditioned world got a fundamental truth. Birth, old age, sickness, and death. All this reality. But in true emptiness, the unconditioned, the Heart Sutta explains very clearly. No old age, no sickness, no death, no birth, nothing. No one dies, no one born. And no one to be enlightened. No attainment. No Four Noble Truth. No suffering, no cause of suffering. He also tell you no nibbana. Then no path that lead to nibbana. That's why you become confused. The Buddha teach all this, and in the Heart Sutta say all this don't exist. That's why a lot of Theravada cannot accept. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. What type of teaching is this? Because people cannot understand. But when you understand, it's so beautiful. Because they exist side by side. One is conditioned Dhamma and one is the unconditioned Dhamma. And to understand life, to really have the wisdom to live life, you must understand both sides. Otherwise you cannot free. And human beings' problem is they understand less than one side. You know what is less than one side? Huh? We talk about the mundane side first. So to them, success in life means what? You have all the mundane successes in there. But are you sure you are happy? That's it. You are very successful in your career. Financial freedom you have. Academic, maybe you do very well also. Then you have a very good family. Then you have all the things that money can buy for you. Beautiful car, beautiful house, can go holiday, can have good food and all those things. But are you really, really free and happy? You cannot, because the first noble truth reality haven't hit. The moment he hit, your money cannot buy hell. Understand? Your money cannot give you happiness. Understand? When you are confronted with dementia and all those things, as you age, as you become so fragile and so weak, you become miserable. Understand? Without wisdom, your mind cannot free. That's why a lot of wealthy people suffer. And they worry about getting old, getting sick and die. They do everything they can to just maintain their what they call their mundane physical health. And most of the time, towards the end of life, without the Dhamma, they really suffer, I tell you. They really suffer. It's not easy to go through, to confront old age, sickness and death. That's like confronting life challenges is not easy. So now that we are not too old, you better look into all this and develop your clear understanding. The body can be sick, the mind need not be sick, understand? Do what you can do. It is your tool. It is your vehicle. Use it, that's it. Like the car, beyond economical repair, don't try to cling onto it. Or don't say this is my first car, like my first love. 难忘的初恋情人. There's a song on it. The first one is always difficult to forget. So if you cling in that manner, very difficult for you to have the wisdom. It will lead to suffering. All this will lead to severe attachment, clinging, grasping. And the mind that hold, cling and grasp will suffer tremendously. Then before you die, you worry. You have fear. What happened after I die? What will happen to my wealth? What will happen to my children? And the worst is, what will happen to my young wife? And all those things. Then, now they write will. But will also can be contested. The casino king, the Hong Kong one, what is his name? Stanley Ho. He got 4 wives, all contesting. They say the third one, the third one or the fourth one is the smartest. I also don't know. Somebody told me. So there are a lot of what they call life history or reality for you to really learn from. Don't end up like most of them, miserable, suffer. But you can be like Bill Gates, they are not bad. They donate a lot back to society. Even Warren Buffett. Now, more and more, these wealthy and rich people, they know how to develop wholesomeness. They have this life purpose. That's why every life they come, they have this parami. They donate so much, they will receive equally much. So you continue to have this generosity, dana parami, you will continue to read it. And some of them, they want this type of life, they will it, then they come in this way. And they want to have this understanding. That's why different living beings with different understanding, they come differently. We are all this mainly use willpower. Willpower. When they will it, it's also very powerful because it's within the field of thought, and they will it with understanding. They are not deluded in the sense, because they gain all this wealth through proper means. That's why they will not lose them, and they will continue to have a lot of all this generosity parami. Okay. Anything else you want to add? This is what I felt is useful for you. Because if you don't go through this topic, you won't understand how to apply the teaching. Applying the teaching is most important. You cultivate, you develop the Dhamma understanding, but you don't know how to apply them or use them to transform your nature, to transform your karmic nature, your spiritual nature, your understanding. Then transform yourself, personality-wise, character-wise, and become a beautiful living being, and become a blessing to all. That is most important. Otherwise, like some of them used to say, you cultivate all the Dhamma, then you bring it to your grave. You never apply, never use, and never share. Then, empty you come, empty you go, understand? You wasted everything. If you cultivate and don't practice, means you will not reap the benefit of that Dhamma, that beautiful teaching that the Buddha has given to the world. If you really have the understanding, you go all out, determine, cultivate this understanding, apply it, and take the vow, plant the beautiful Bodhi seed, so that it will nurture beautifully, so that your Bodhi mind, life after life, with this calling and understanding, it will surface. Then every time you come, you become very beautiful, you connect very fast. Like that day, Tuesday class, you better go and listen. You can have a karmic nature, sure bring you here. Because most people, before they are enlightened, they have to come. They cannot choose to come. So you have to come. Immediately when you come, you are born of your karma, heir to your karma, conditions, support, you are what you are because. So karma take control, drive you. Then the spiritual nature, you may have your past and all those things, but no use. You know why? As long as you cannot cultivate and connect, you cannot inherit from your spiritual nature. And you cannot continue to build up that spiritual nature. That's why you must have this vow, this aspiration, this Bodhi mind that will propel you, will activate or give you the condition to receive all this teaching, to move you towards this direction, this inquiry and all those things. You must develop the passion for Dhamma. That is the faith, the saddha and the virya, the passion for Dhamma. And my nature love Dhamma. I really love Dhamma. And Dhamma is so beautiful to me. Where my nature understands Dhamma very, very beautifully. That's why every life it comes, it will be very beautiful. And my nature prepare everything for this for my mind. That's why technically, like I say, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. My nature just prepare everything. Then this form my mind come, accord and flow. That's it. Because this nature inherit from the two, karmic nature and the spiritual nature. And the most important is the spiritual nature, because that vow. The spiritual nature understanding is very powerful. That one through adhitthana, vow. You really know how to make the vow and plant the seed of bodhi, then this bodhi maya, it will really come to fruition. And it really move everything. That's why I realized this nature, this form of mind didn't do anything. It just echoed and flowed. All the conditions just unfold by itself. And it just arises by itself. And even people whom this nature encounter or what, it's through your affinity and your vow. Otherwise you cannot meet this nature. Or you meet this nature also, you will be talking different thing to him. You won't be talking Dhamma. That's why you have your past. Otherwise you won't be here sitting, listening to all this. And this type of wholesomeness, parami, I tell you, even one lesson, that 2-3 hours, one of the classes, you can never expect that extent of that merits, the parami. You know how to make use of it and make aspiration, I tell you, it's very powerful. Because these are the things that very few living beings can receive, this type of teaching, and this type of understanding. So, because of causes and conditions, you can become part of that Kalyanamittaship. Then you can have the condition to receive all it. And now, with the website already, there's a lot of things